I'm going to say something controversial, and that is I believe Black Sabbath Paranoid is more influential than the debut. Let me first tell you how I discovered this band. First time I heard the band, I was about 10 years old. My older brother had the album, We Sold Our Souls to Rock and Roll, which was a greatest hits album, so I knew all the hits. But it wasn't until I was about 17 or 18 years old when I started to become interested in heavy metal. I discovered Iron Maiden and Metallica, and I remember Black Sabbath, so I went out and I bought an album. I decided to buy this one. I guess it was the one I saw in the record store, and I used to listen to it all the time. I think it's an awesome album. I'm going to talk about everything we need to know and make the argument that it's more influential than the debut. Well, we need to understand that while both are important albums, Paranoid is generally considered more influential than Black Sabbath's debut album because it solidified heavy metal sound and style, resulting in a more commercially successful and genre-defying record. The debut album laid the groundwork, but Paranoid built upon that foundation to create a more polished and definitive statement. Paranoid was a commercial breakthrough for the band. The title track Paranoid was a last-minute addition written as filler, but became their only top 20 hit in the UK. The success, along with the massive popularity of Iron Man and War Pigs, introduced Black Sabbath to a much wider audience. This allowed their heavy sound and lyrical themes to reach and influence a global fan base in a way the debut simply couldn't. While the debut album touched on dark blues-influenced themes and occult imagery, Paranoid expanded the lyrical scope. Bassist and primary lyricist Geezer Butler delved into more complex and socially conscious topics. War Pigs is a powerful anti-war anthem. Iron Man explores themes of isolation and vengeance, and Paranoid addresses mental health struggles like depression and anxiety. This moved beyond just satanic themes, gave heavy metal a new depth and relevance, inspiring future generations of bands to use their music for social commentary. The debut album, recorded in a single 12-hour session, has a raw blues rock feel. Paranoid, on the other hand, shows a significant refinement in songwriting and production. It solidified the band's signature style of slow, heavy, down-tuned riffs with powerful, thundering rhythms. Songs like War Pigs and Iron Man established a sound of doom metal, while the track provided a template for faster-paced heavy metal songs. Paranoid contains some of the most recognizable and enduring songs in rock history. War Pigs, Paranoid, Iron Man. They're not just key songs in Black Sabbath's catalog, they're foundational anthems of the heavy metal genre. These tracks are still a staple of rock radio, concerts, and pop culture, which has helped Paranoid remain a constant touchstone for new generations of metal fans and musicians. I understand this album has some songs that might feel overplayed, but to be honest with you, I've always loved the deep cuts much better than the popular songs, so let's talk more about those. Electric Funeral is a prime example of how the band's musical and lyrical ideas went on to shape and define heavy metal. While the entire album is foundational, Electric Funeral is one of the most important songs. First of all, Electric Funeral is often cited as a major influence on the doom metal subgenre. The song is a masterclass in slow, grinding, and oppressive heaviness. Its sluggish tempo, coupled with Tony Iommi's down-tuned, distorted guitar riffs, creates a sense of dread and despair. The sound was a direct contrast to the faster, more upbeat rock of the era and became a template for countless bands in the year to come who sought to emulate this gloomy and crushing atmosphere. Bands like Saint Vitus, Pentagram, and the influential doom act Electric Wizard, by the way, whose name is a nod to both Electric Funeral and the Wizard, carried on this sonic legacy. Lyrically, Electric Funeral is a chilling depiction of a post-apocalyptic world destroyed by nuclear war. Bassist and primary lyricist Geezer Butler, known for his socially conscious writing, painted a vivid picture of a world where the final day has come and people run in a mass of flame. This kind of bleak, apocalyptic imagery became a recurring theme in heavy metal, particularly in the thrash and death metal genres that emerged in the 1980s. Songs from bands like Metallica, The Four Horsemen, Megadeth, Holy Wars, The Punishment Due, and many others drew from this lyrical well, using the genre as a vehicle for serious, often political commentary of the state of the world. Song structure is also influential. It's not a simple verse, chorus, verse pop song. Electric Funeral begins with this iconic slow riff, but then shifts tempo and mood in the middle section, creating a sense of a journey through the devastation. This dynamic songwriting, with its unexpected changes and heavy use of atmosphere, gave future bands a license to experiment with song structure. This laid the groundwork for the progressive and experimental elements found in many subgenres. Tony Iommi's playing on Electric Funeral is a highlight of his legendary career. The riff is simple yet devastatingly effective, showcasing his mastery of the power chord and his unique down-tuned tone. The use of the wah pedal in the solo, making the guitar talk in a mournful, wailing fashion, became a signature element that many guitarists in the heavy metal and hard rock genres would later adopt. His ability to create such a heavy, dark sound from a single riff was revolutionary and a direct inspiration to generations of guitarists. Hand of Doom is another track that had a profound and lasting influence on heavy metal, particularly on its lyrical and structural complexity. While it might not be as widely known as Iron Man or the title track, its impact is just as crucial. The song stands out for its direct and unflinching lyrical content, inspired by the band seeing Vietnam War veterans returning to the United States with severe drug addictions. Geezer Butler's lyrics tackle the heavy subject of self-medication and the brutal reality of heroin use. The line, "First it was the bomb, Vietnam, napalm, disillusioning, you push the needle in," directly links war and political disillusionment to drug addiction. This gave heavy metal a new kind of credibility, showing it could be a vehicle for serious social commentary rather than just escapism. The lyrics are grim and graphic, painting a picture of a hand of doom taking over a person's life. This anti-drug message resonated with a generation and influenced countless bands to explore darker, more realistic themes of human suffering and struggle. The song has been referenced by other artists, and many other artists released similar songs about addiction, including Metallica with Master of Puppets. Hand of Doom was also a masterclass in dynamic songwriting, a characteristic that would become a staple of heavy metal. The song is not simple linear progression, but rather a journey with a distinct mood and tempo changes. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Let me continue with the story. The song begins with a slow, grinding, doom-laden riff, creating an atmosphere of dread and oppression. This part is a perfect example of what will become the proto-doom sound. Around the 2-minute and 15-second mark, the song explodes into a faster, more aggressive and chaotic section. The shift in tempo and intensity mirrors the chaotic rush of a drug high and a frantic struggle for survival. This contrast between slow, heavy verses and faster, more frantic sections influenced the structure of many songs in genres like thrash, progressive metal, and even later forms of doom metal. Geezer Butler's bass line is particularly noteworthy, acting as a crucial anchor that provides a powerful, often jazzy groove that propels the song forward and helps connect the different sections. This showcases the band's musical sophistication that lay beneath Black Sabbath's raw power. Like War Pigs and Iron Man, Hand of Doom showed that a heavy metal song didn't need to be a simple, repetitive song. It could be an extended, complex piece of music that tells a story, both musically and lyrically. This laid the groundwork for the creation of longer, more epic metal songs that became the signature of the genre, everything from Metallica's Master of Puppets to Iron Maiden's Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Then there is Planet Caravan, the ethereal, psychedelic-infused ballad. It's a fascinating, often overlooked part of the band's influence on heavy metal. While it doesn't have the obvious bone-crushing riffs of Iron Man or War Pigs, its influence is significant precisely because of its contrast and experimental nature. Black Sabbath emerged from the same blues rock and psychedelic scene as bands like Pink Floyd and Hawkwind. Planet Caravan is a direct sonic bridge between an era and the new genre of heavy metal. It's a trippy, mellow track with an almost jazz-like feel, showcasing a different side of the band. The song's influence lies in its ability to create a surreal, otherworldly atmosphere. Ozzy Osbourne's vocals, treated with a Leslie speaker to create a unique wavering effect, and the gentle, clean guitar work of Tony Iommi demonstrated that metal could be more than just aggression. This opened doors for bands to incorporate more atmospheric and mood-driven elements into their music, a crucial factor in the development of subgenres like doom metal and stoner rock. The fusion of heavy riffs with psychedelic elements is the very foundation of stoner rock. Planet Caravan is often cited as a proto-stoner rock track. The mellow, hazy vibe of the song combined with the band's signature heavy sound and the rest of the album is the essence of that genre. Pantera's cover of the song on their album Far Beyond Driven is a testament to its enduring influence within the heavy metal world. Planet Caravan showed that Black Sabbath was not a one-dimensional band. Placing such a starkly different, non-heavy song in the middle of a landmark heavy metal album demonstrated a level of musical maturity and willingness to experiment. This kind of genre blending and dynamic songwriting laid the groundwork for progressive metal. Later bands like Queensryche, Fate's Warning, and Dream Theater would regularly incorporate acoustic passages, extended clean sections, and unconventional song structures into their heavy music. Black Sabbath's willingness to include a song like Planet Caravan gave future artists the license to do the same without compromising their heavy credentials. Planet Caravan is essentially a metal ballad, but not in the conventional sense. Not a power ballad, it's a cosmic, spacey lament. This showed that slow songs in metal didn't have to be sentimental. They could be atmospheric, mysterious, and deeply melancholic, a mood that has been since explored by countless metal bands. And that is all. This is probably my #1 Black Sabbath album. Despite the fact that some of the songs have been overplayed, I could still listen to it as the songs have a really great flow. So it's not only the type of album to pick out singles to enjoy, you can enjoy it from start to finish. Check out my review right here where I talk about some of the background behind the first album, which celebrated an anniversary in February. This one's celebrating an anniversary like around now. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Please like this video. Helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Please subscribe if you're not already. And I do rock and metal reviews, rankings, and more. I will see you in the next one.